love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
I was thinking about the absurdity of life, then it struck me. Life's a lot like Pulp Fiction. It's messy, non-linear, full of odd coincidences, and occasionally someone gets shot in the face for no apparent reason. And much like that mysterious briefcase, we're all just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. In my opinion, Pulp Fiction isn't just a brilliant, blood-soaked fever dream of a movie. It's actually a masterclass in absurdism. A philosophy that tells us life is random, chaotic, and utterly meaningless. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's back up a little. If you're not already aware, absurdism, in a nutshell, is the philosophical brainchild of Albert Camus, a guy who stared into the existential void and basically shrugged. Camus argued that life has no inherent meaning, and yet we as humans are obsessed with finding it. It's like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle with no picture on the box. The result? Frustration, existential dread, and occasionally a really memorable soundtrack. Now, Camus wasn't saying we should just give up and binge Netflix forever, although tempting. Instead, he said we need to embrace the absurd, accept the chaos, laugh at the randomness, and most importantly, keep going. And that's where Pulp Fiction comes in. First, let's talk about Tarantino's storytelling. The movie is famously out of order. You see Vincent alive after he's already been killed. A seemingly minor conversation about foot massages spirals into a violent hit. And that briefcase, we never find out what's inside. The timeline makes no sense because guess what? Neither does life. Look, I might be wrong here, but I believe the non-linear narrative wasn't just a quirky artistic choice Tarantino made. It's a reflection of absurdism itself. In real life, events don't always have a clear beginning, middle and end. They just happen, and sometimes they don't mean anything at all. Take Butcher's obsession with his father's gold watch. It's absurd, isn't it? He risks everything for a trinket that's been kept up Christopher Walken's ass for years. But isn't that what we all do? No, not the watch up the butt. What I mean is, we assign meaning to objects, moments and symbols in an attempt to make sense of a world that refuses to cooperate. Let's talk about humour, specifically dark, twisted, laugh so you don't cry type of humour. When Vincent accidentally shoots Marvin in the face, it's horrifying, but it's also hilarious. Now why is that so? Well, for one, you might just be a sick puppy. And two, because Pulp Fiction forces us to confront life's absurdity with laughter. Camus argued that humour is one of the ways we cope with the absurd. If the universe doesn't care about us, why not laugh at its indifference? Tarantino leans into this by making the most brutal moments of the movie oddly funny. It's like the universe's way of saying, lighten the fuck up, it's all meaningless anyway. And then there's the briefcase, the movie's ultimate red herring. What's in it? Gold, diamonds, the glowing essence of Marcellus Wallace's soul? We never find out because it doesn't matter. The briefcase is a metaphor for life's biggest question, what's it all about? We obsess over what's inside just like we obsess over life's purpose. But the truth is, the briefcase and perhaps life itself doesn't owe us an answer, and that's okay. The meaning isn't in the destination, it's in our own absurd journey we take to get there. Let's consider Jules. At the start of the movie, he's a hitman who approaches his work with cold detachment, treating it as just business. But after surviving a so-called miracle, something shifts. Inspired by a newfound sense of wonder, he decides to walk a different path, much like Caine from Kung Fu, seeking a life of wandering and reflection. He doesn't suddenly find a grand purpose. Instead, he embraces the absurdity of his existence and chooses to live with intention, exploring what it truly means to simply walk the earth. This is straight out of Camus' playbook. The absurd hero doesn't find meaning in the universe. Instead, they create their own meaning by embracing life's randomness and moving forward. Jules doesn't need a divine plan, he just needs to be the shepherd. And isn't that what we're all trying to do? Find our own path in the chaos? In the end, Pulp Fiction isn't just a movie about gangsters, drugs and violence. It's a celebration of life's absurdity. It's about laughing at the chaos, finding meaning in meaningless things, and rolling with the punches, even if those punches include a needle to the heart. The next time you watch Pulp Fiction, don't just marvel at the dialogue or stylish violence. Look deeper. See it for what it truly is. A messy, chaotic, hilarious reflection of our own absurd lives.